Good morning and welcome to Wake Up to Broker Up with Mark, episode number 12 for 2023. Well, today is a tale of two contracts. Two contracts written in two separate years. One where Atlanta Communities represented the buyer, and one where Atlanta Communities represented the seller. And one was written in 2022, and the other was written in 2023. And what did those two contracts have in common? Option money. In the first one that was written in 2022, we represented the buyer. And inadvertently, in the purchase and sale agreement, it was $4,000 earnest money and $4,000 option money. Wasn't supposed to be any option money. The buyer went under contract. Option money was never paid. Buyer subsequently terminated during the buyer's due diligence period, received their money back. Everybody signed the TNR. And then months later, now in 2023, Mr. Seller comes and says, hey, I never got the option money, and is after the $4,000 option money, even though the property subsequently sold to another buyer and actually sold for more money than the buyer that we represented was under contract for. Interesting, option money. Fast forward to 2023, we represented the seller. And in this situation, there was option money as well. And in this case, the option money was paid. There was $5,000 earnest money and $2,000 option money. And inadvertently, unlike it says in paragraph number 8B, number 2, option money, it was not paid directly to the seller. It was paid as part of the earnest money, which was being held by the closing attorney. So $5,000 earnest money, $2,000 option money, it all goes to the closing attorney as the holder of the earnest money. Didn't get caught. Buyer subsequently goes under contract, does home inspection, and then decides to TNR. Sends over the TNR. The seller won't sign it because it doesn't address the option money being held inadvertently by the closing attorney. Closing attorney then has to do a 10-day letter. And in the 10-day letter, they address the option money, but they say they're going to give the earnest money back to the buyer, which was right because it was due diligence and they terminated properly. But the option money was going to go to the seller, as it should, because it should have been paid there to begin with and never paid to the closing attorney. At which point the buyer said, whoa, wait a minute. There were all these other issues. The seller failed to disclose this and covered this up, etc. Where the seller said, no, I didn't have any idea. It was not an owner-occupied property. Didn't have any idea that that stuff was going on. And the closing attorney did another 10-day letter. And in that 10-day letter, they said, the money's going to the buyer, at which point the seller said, hey, that option money is supposed to come to me. And in the end, the closing attorney paid the option money to the buyer, back to the buyer. Now, why are these two things, which is interesting because they're both option money and they both happen to come up to our attention at the same time. When there's option money, you need to call your broker and you need to make sure that you know what to do with it and how to do what to do with it. And it's not because anything was done wrong in either one of these. In the first one, the 2022 version, there wasn't supposed to be any option money. So when you're filling out the forms and you're getting ready to send them electronically to somebody, you got to make sure that they're right. My suggestion is to print them out. Get to some place where you can print them out so you can see them before you send them off. Make sure everything is right, especially as it deals with money, earnest money or option money. And the second one is if the person you're representing, in this case it would be the seller, is expecting option money, you got to make sure they get the option money. So you may need to call your broker to get a special step that says it's contingent on actually getting the option money if the person you represent, the seller, wants the money. So option money. And no, this is not to go out and start doing option money contracts on everything. As you can see, there could be issues. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.